From the Sin City, Las Vegas, Nevada, it's Dale and Scott.
Well, that's a lie. But it's Scott, at least. So Dale's on assignment this week, and it's not very often that I do the show without him. But the show must go on, as they say. So I recruited my sister. Hi, Laura.
Hello, how are you?
I'm doing very well, and I'm really glad that you were able to do this at the last minute. It's very exciting.
Yeah, me too. I'm so glad you caught me in the middle of my busy schedule.
Yeah.
I had a free moment, so it's good.
So Laura is my sister, and her last name is Wallace too, and she lives in Maplewood, New Jersey, which is a suburb of New York City, not far from Newark Airport, actually. And we go way back, at least 25 years. I think we go back.
We go way back to almost the beginning.
Almost the beginning. That's true. Well, I've known you since day one, and you didn't know me from day one, my day one, but Laura's 2 years younger than me. Anyway, so how was the Mets game on Sunday night? Quite something, it looked like.
Oh boy. Well, it was great. It was wonderful and fun and beautiful and exciting. And then it wasn't, and it was kind of disappointing. And we kept waiting for the action to really start. And unfortunately, our beloved Mets really didn't have it last night. And they never really got going and never really got hitting. And it was kind of sad because I know you're not a big sports ball fan, but they had just such a great season. We had so much fun cheering for them all year. And last night was kind of a bummer of an ending.
Now, it's kind of a trek from your house to Met Stadium, isn't it? It's
not bad. It is, of course, but there's no such thing as a fast trip out there from anywhere unless you live in Queens, because there's traffic every single hour, and there's you could take a combination of trains, but nothing's really super fast. But it isn't bad. What we did is we took the train. And that is the reason. It's about probably the same amount of time as driving, but what you don't have to do if you take the train is park. And parking can take forever before a game like this, especially one with a full house. So we've gotten burned with that before, and we didn't want to, so we took the train, and it's easy actually. Just New Jersey to Penn Station, then Long Island Railroad. It's only 15 minutes from there. Perfect. So that part's not hard.
And I knew you went because I follow you on Instagram, of course, and you had a great family photo with your two kids and your husband. And your husband was wearing a leather jacket, and I was wearing shorts and a t-shirt. So it must have been chilly.
Yeah. Well, most of us don't live in the desert.
Fall has not come here yet. And what is this ear? What is this ear thing?
Oh, Eargate. That was Jay's word for Joe Musgrove, who was the pitcher last night for the Padres, had a shiny ear, a very, very shiny ear. And we didn't know about it because we had the cheap seats on a playoff game. And of course we couldn't see his ear, but we heard about it first from people texting my kids saying something's going on with that pitcher's ear. It looks like he might be cheating. And so there was chatter about it on TV and on social media last night. And then eventually around the sixth inning, Buck Showalter, who's the Mets coach, he went to the ump and asked the umps to check him out to see if he was cheating. And they didn't find anything, and the game went on, and it didn't change anything at all. But it was very sus. It was very, to use a kid word, it was very suspect, because your ears don't sweat. Your ears just don't shine like that. It's not normal. So it was very questionable what was going on with that. Plus, they were saying on television that he had a higher than normal spin rate on the ball, and all this stuff. So there's a lot of chatter about that. But it probably ultimately didn't matter and wouldn't have changed the fate of anybody anyway. But it was just something to talk about.
It's always fun to have something to talk about. Yeah. The ear thing. Well, I didn't come up with the ear thing question on my own. Dale told me to ask you about that. So
yeah, it's a whole thing this year. They've banned the substances that pitchers have used in the past to put some sticky stuff on their hands and get on the ball to make the ball spin a little bit more and do tricky things. And they've banned those. And so now they check them out to make sure they're not using them on the down low.
Makes sense.
So that's what that was about.
There you go. We want to take a moment to wish Tracy Blades, Dale's sister, a happy birthday. So this is kind of Sisters and Brothers Day.
Happy birthday, Tracy.
The big 4-0.
Wow.
Yeah. So
she's a youngin'.
I know. A lot younger than us. Anyway, I want to tell you, I went to get lunch yesterday, and I went to the McDonald's drive-thru because last week we talked about the adult Happy Meals at McDonald's, and I have to tell you, I asked for the adult Happy Meal in the drive-thru lane, and I got laughed at. Apparently, they sold out on day one.
So what made them happy? What was so happy about them? Well, you don't know because you didn't get one.
Well, I do know, and obviously everyone out there knows now that my sister doesn't listen to the show. Because if she did, she'd know that we've been talking about this on the show. They teamed up with.
I don't always.
I know.
I sometimes miss it.
I was just teasing you. I know you're very, very busy. She does have 2 teenagers and a dog and a cat and a husband, and you have a job too. I don't know what you do, but
job.
Yeah. Anyway, they laughed at me. They basically McDonald's teamed up for their first ever adult Happy Meal, and it included a character from I don't know. I don't have my notes from last week, so I can't tell you. But anyway, the characters had 4 eyes instead of 2. Yeah, that's all I know.
I thought it might have a little mini bottle of booze in it.
That would be wonderful, but I don't think McDonald's has liquor licenses. Also, Dale and I have been busy getting ready for our garage sale. I haven't had a garage sale in a long time, but we're having a garage sale. It's a multi-family garage sale this Saturday. I can't give you the address because that would be really wrong to tell the entire world where I live. But if you happen to be in the Southwest Valley of Las Vegas, I guess you could drive around and try to find us. We've got a lot of things for sale. We've got a bunch of friends coming over and they're bringing all their shit, and we're hoping to make some money for our vacation next week.
Did you organize this yourself, or did your neighborhood decide to do this?
I don't live in a neighborhood, remember? I'm all out here by my own on my little ranch. So no.
Well, how is it multi-family then?
Because
the other families?
They're friends of ours. I invited all my. I have friends, Laura.
Well, I don't understand. I mean, I do understand, of course, that. But why didn't you do all this before you moved? Get rid of all your
that's stuff. That's the question of the century, isn't it? I mean, why did I move all the way across the country? Well, I told you we moved from a 6,000 square foot house to a 3,000 square foot house, and we brought all of our shit with us. So we thought it would all fit in here. Well, that was ridiculous. So we're getting rid of some shit. Anyway, I'm going to skip ahead. We're going on vacation next week, so the extra cash will obviously help. I can't tell you where we're going because I never talk about vacations until after they happen, just in case, people try to stalk us, right?
This, my friends, is the Swish Edition. From their secret underground studio, this is the Swish Edition.
We got a mouthful for you guys.
Dale and Scott are in the studio on the mics, and they fired up the antenna.
It has to come whether you like it or not.
And if you're willing to show it, they'll take a picture of it.
I actually think I might throw.
Ladies and gentlemen, and everyone else in between, here are your new best friends. They're your hosts.
It's very exciting for me because this is the best show ever made.
Dale and Scott.
Well, we already know Dale's not here, but there you go. Sometimes the music never ends. Maybe I need to make that a little shorter. Anyway, What about your neighborhood, Laura? Do you get a lot of neighbors that go absolutely over the top with decorating for Halloween and Christmas?
Well, no, not my immediate neighbor. We decorate for every holiday around here. People do, and we decorate for the big ones. We do Halloween and Christmas, but I don't have any crazy over the top in our immediate neighborhood. But you can always find the houses that do, and people. There are a few that do, and there are a few good sort of famous streets that are good to go through on Halloween and during Christmas, and people tour around. That my street is not one of the famous ones.
Well, but you guys as both of you and your husband are artists, you guys always do some really great stuff, and I always enjoy them. So
we do enjoy it.
Your silhouettes in the windows are always pretty epic.
It's fun to do that. We live on a busy road, so it's really kind of about what people can see as they're quickly rushing
as
by.
they're zooming by. Our father is not a fan of your road, and he does not like driving to your house because he hates backing out of your driveway. It's scary. Anyway, that's not what we're talking about, though. What we're talking about is a Plainfield, Illinois family has been forced to take down their Halloween decorations themed to the show Stranger Things on Netflix, complete with flying characters and everything, because the neighbors complained. They originally
I have a question. Do they live in a what do you call it when you live in
HOA?
Do they live in an HOA neighborhood?
I did read the article, and I don't remember if that was the case or not. I don't know if they specifically said that, but one of their neighbors complained because there were thousands of cars driving up and down the street to look at their display at night. So they originally put up a video on TikTok, which got over 14 million views, and I guess they told everybody their address, which is not something I think you should do. I mean, we talked about this last year. There's a whole documentary on Netflix about Christmas displays that gone too far, and HOAs have shut them down. And I mean, they basically wreak havoc on neighborhoods. You know, you've got thousands, even busloads of people come to these crazy, crazy displays. So the question is, do we respect people's property rights, or are you supposed to respect your neighbors?
I don't know. I have mixed opinion, and I might feel differently if I live next door.
There you go.
But I feel like it's not so much about property rights; it's just having a sense of fun. I mean, sometimes everything can't. I always feel like some people are really, really, really caught up. My problem with the HOA is everybody's so caught up with the grass being a particular length and the house being a particular color, and where's your sense of fun? I mean, this Stranger Things display sounds amazing. That's too bad to me. But on the other hand, I can see why people wouldn't want busloads of people coming through their neighborhood. Sure.
Oh no, I think I'd be very, very upset if my next door neighbors did that. But then again, my neighbors are not right on top of me, so it might not affect me as much as it would if someone in a smaller community. Anyway.
Well, it's kind of like, this is a separate topic, but it's related, which is all of the uproar about everybody doing Airbnb now. You know, it's like what you have the right to do it, but do you have the right to affect your neighbors that way, where it's constantly strangers in your neighborhood in and out, renting it for a party house and doing God knows what? And, people get really, it's a real issue.
Yeah, it's an issue in a lot of places here, like in Las Vegas. They just passed new ordinances here in Clark County. You can't have one Airbnb can't be closer than 1,000 feet to another one, and all this other stuff. I mean, there's all these rules, and they're trying to crack down on because it was getting out of hand. So yeah, and I understand that. But I also understand people wanting to make money off their houses, right?
I know it's tough.
I got a question for you.
Tough one.
Yeah, I got a question for you because I know that you've lived in New York City for a long time now, or in the outskirts of New York City. You've actually lived in Manhattan. I think that's where you lived when you first moved there. Have you ever
been? But not as long as Brooklyn.
Yeah, Manhattan, Brooklyn, and then New Jersey. Have you ever seen the wooden escalators at Macy's?
Of course I have.
I mean, I just think, okay.
Everybody who's been to Macy's has.
I just think this is the coolest thing ever. Now, I've been to Macy's in Manhattan, the one, it's right across the street from That's Herald Square, right?
Yeah, 34th Street.
So
Yeah,
I've
Square.
been on them, and I guess I didn't realize that they were wooden at the time, but I just saw this video online. These things are over 100. Yeah, they're over 100 years old. They're the last remaining wood escalators in the world, and they were built by Otis Elevator Company, which is still around today. You guys will see the Otis name on almost every elevator you get on. I just think this is amazing.
They're really nice. You would have noticed. You maybe didn't ride on them because not all of the escalators in Macy's are wooden. The ones that take you from the first to the second floor and up above, they're not wooden. The ones that are wooden are, or maybe some of them are, but the ones that I remember riding that are wooden are the ones that are at the bottom, that go down to the basement from the first floor. Those are definitely wooden, and then maybe some other ones too, but not all the escalators in the store are. That's the point I'm trying to make, because there definitely are some more modern ones too. So but I think you would have noticed they're very pretty. They're really pretty wood. Yeah, they're really nice.
Cool. I know that's just a total random thought there, but I saw it this week and I made a note about it, and I make notes about everything, and I wanted to talk about it because I want to go see them.
Bloomingdale's, which is, they're coming up on their 150th anniversaries. Bloomingdale's is actually the store that had the first escalators in any commercial establishment in the United States. And they had them in the late 1890s, shortly after they were invented.
Wow.
So
I didn't know that they were that old. That's pretty cool. Anyway, hey, did you know that there's literally a scientific study for almost everything? I don't know if it's scientific, but there is a company, it's called In Touch Insight. It's a Canadian research company that compiles an annual report on the big franchises, fast food franchises around North America, and how they stack up when it comes to drive-through friendliness and speed based on 1,500 mystery shopping excursions that their people have done over the last year. So this is kind of funny because I opened the show talking about how I went to McDonald's and got laughed at. So I'm not sure if that would be a friendliness factor or not. But anyway, they found out, maybe this is no surprise to you, friendliness is down 7% since last year, hovering at only 72% overall. So only 72% of the visits were friendly. And then when it comes to satisfaction, this probably won't surprise you at all. Chick-fil-A continues to lead in the satisfaction category, tied this year with Carl's Jr. So most people who go to fast food places, the ones that go to Chick-fil-A, are pretty happy with their experience.
I've never been to Carl's Jr. I don't even know. Where is that? Is that a regional, like out west thing?
Carl's Jr. is the same as Hardee's. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I think it's Hardee's on the East Coast and Carl's Jr. out here, maybe.
Okay.
Something like that.
Right.
Also, drive-through time is 10 seconds faster overall over last year. The fastest are in order Chick-fil-A, McDonald's, and then Taco Bell came in third. And that
is not my experience.
And for another year, Wendy's came in dead last for everything, friendliness and speed. What is wrong with
I don't understand that. I like Wendy's. My family, when we go on a road trip, Wendy's is always our go-to.
Really?
That's the one we prefer. We prefer it over any of the others if we're going to do. We don't actually eat very much fast food, but we do it if we're driving somewhere. And Wendy's is our default. It's the best one, I think.
I don't know that their burgers are the best, but they do have pretty amazing fries. We all like their chicken sandwich. That's what we tend to get there. All right, I'm going to check that out because the last time I went, I got a burger and I wasn't super happy with it. So I will go try their chicken sandwich. Not that I go to fast food that often. I went today just to get the Happy Meal. I wasn't very happy. Anyway, I'm going to breeze through the Vegas news real fast. We always talk about Vegas because that's where, at least one of us this week is. When Las Vegas finally announced their new show, it's called Awakening. They spent $100 million on the new theater. And the new show opens on November 7th. They're going to do 10 shows a week.
They built a theater just for this show?
Just for this show, $100 million they spent. The theater it's the same place where Le Rêve used to be, which was their show since day one when Wynn was built in 2005. It closed in March of 2020, as did everything else with the pandemic. And they decided to revamp. It was a good time for them to rip it out and start over. which is too bad because it was an awesome show. I don't think you got a chance to see it, but I took our mom and dad, to it, and they loved it. It was one of the best shows I've ever seen anywhere. It was pretty amazing.
I haven't. I don't think I've seen that one. I've seen a bunch of the Cirque shows, and I don't always handle them well. I think I'm getting worse as I get older. It's too stressful for me, and I'm so nervous as it's going on that I almost can't enjoy it. I almost need it to be over because I'm too scared that something scary is going to happen and dangerous.
Something scary did happen. The show Ka, which is one of the Cirque shows at the MGM Grand, someone fell off the stage and died right in front of everybody.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. That's what I worry about. And I didn't used to worry about that, but somehow I got that into my head, and now, oh boy, I like to watch it when it's recorded and I know it already happened. That's so funny.
Well, hopefully there won't be any death-defying stuff in Awakening, and I can take you to see it. So.
Yeah.
Also, I learned this week, and one of my notes that I made, I was doing some research on some Las Vegas stuff, and I found out that Luxor, which you guys know is the big black pyramid hotel right next to Mandalay Bay, I didn't know that the light on top, which is the brightest light in the entire man-made light in the entire world, you guys maybe know that because I've talked about it before. Its official name is called the Sky Beam. I didn't know that. So you've now learned something new today, the Sky Beam. You know, you've learned that, and that there are wooden escalators at Macy's, and you've learned that Bloomingdale's had the first escalator ever. How about that? Also, they announced this week that Light nightclub at Mandalay Bay is closing. It actually closed abruptly last week, and they're moving all their employees to their other properties around Vegas. I went to Light when it was still at Bellagio. It moved from Bellagio to Mandalay. I went right when it opened in 2001, a long time ago. Anyway, they're also going to be closing the Strip on November 5th to practice. Yeah, they're going to practice the Indy Grand Prix race. They're doing a little test. So they're going to close down the entire Strip and race cars down the Strip at 200 miles an hour. So that's going to be kind of fun. The actual race.
How are they going to do that? How are they going to close the Strip?
They're just literally close it, and nobody will be able to walk on it.
Do with all the people? They'll all just have to stay inside?
Or they'll have to stay on the sidewalk, I guess. They're just closing they're just closing the road. Yeah.
Well, but I would think though, you would need to clear the people away to race cars 200 miles an hour.
Well, that is probably you're probably right about that. You're probably right about that. And the actual race is going to be happening in November 2023. They're doing a 5-mile entire thing down the Strip and all the way around and back again, and it's huge.
Wow.
That's
a big deal.
Yeah,
that's a big deal.
Oh, it's going to be a huge deal. And Dale and I have already decided we're going to take a vacation, get the hell out of here, because it's going to be just an absolute mess. And the entire world will be watching us. Of course, we also have the Super Bowl in 2024, so the whole world will be watching us that day too. Anyway, and a lot on the show. In the last couple months, we've been talking about this great ice cream shop, Salt and Straw, and their crazy flavors, because they always come up with these absolute crazy flavors. So Dale and I have been talking about it a lot, Laura. Just the crazy stuff they come up with. I mean, things that you would not normally put in ice cream. Anyway, we were kind of thrilled to find out that they're opening a branch of Salt and Straw here in Vegas. It's coming to the Uncommons development here in the Southwest Valley, and it's going to be open before the end of the year. So super excited about that. They have flavors. Laura, here's some of the flavors they got right now. Creepy Crawler Critters that has real bugs in it. I don't know
No.
They have Jack-o'-lantern pumpkin bread ice cream. Ice cream that tastes like pumpkin bread. Sea salt with caramel, which is fine.
Mm-hmm.
Fig and olive oil. And then licorice and lavender. Those are some of the current offerings they have right now.
I don't know. All of those are fine, but the bugs one, why?
I don't want bugs either.
No, that's not. I mean, yeah, no, I don't know. I bet there's some delicious ones, but the bugs are just a step beyond for me. I guess it'd be good for Halloween.
Yeah, I think so too. All right, I'm gonna skip ahead. Hey, when are you coming to Vegas?
I don't know. Soon, I hope.
I was just texting her last night, asking her when she's gonna come. You know, Martha. Speaking of, Laura used to work for Martha Stewart. Martha just opened her brand new restaurant, her first ever restaurant called the Bedford at the Paris Hotel here in Vegas. You should come out and check that out.
Yeah. Well, I've been to Bedford. I've been to the original.
She's been to the actual Bedford.
Inspiration for the restaurant. I've been to her house in Bedford.
Yeah.
I don't know. I would love to come out sometime soon, and we just have to find out. You know, it's busy times. It's busy times. Jay's got a million things. My husband, he's busy, and my kids they have so many SATs and homecoming and sports and school and.
Well, there's always gonna be
so
something.
in between all that and work. The good thing is for work, my work is very portable. I can take it with me. So that part isn't so hard to travel with. It's just everybody else. It's all everyone here trying to find the time that's perfect for a getaway.
Sounds like you need a nanny.
No, they're too old for that. a driver maybe.
A driver. Good idea.
You're listening to Swish Edition.com.
Well, I know you need to get back to work soon, and I'm taking up a good part of your day, but I want to talk about the entertainment stuff real fast. Some exciting stuff. We've been talking a lot about James Bond's 60th anniversary, which is happening this month. And for the first time ever, did you know this, Laura? All 25 James Bond movies are available to stream all in the same place. They're all on Amazon Prime Video right now.
Really?
How
No,
exciting.
I didn't know that.
This has never happened.
We have that.
Yeah, everyone has that. It's never happened, but virtually everyone is a Prime member. I mean, most Americans are Prime members, right? It's stupid not to be.
Oh, well, they have a friend who is. Yeah.
Yeah. So for a reason I don't understand, since Amazon owns MGM and MGM owns the James Bond movies, this is only for a limited time. They're not going to be available all the time on Prime Video. So I'm not sure why. Maybe it's a thing that they'll just kind of roll out every now and then. Anyway.
Well, because they want to keep some things in the vault so that they feel special and scarce,
Exactly.
And that way.
I think it's true. I think it's true for you too. That Octopussy was our first James Bond movie. I know that it
definitely was Roger Moore. I know it was a Roger Moore movie because he was our first.
Yeah, he was our first James Bond because of how old we are. And then we went back obviously and watched the original ones. But Octopussy is the first one I remember watching, and I've seen it probably 25 times. But I watched it just the other
25 times.
Oh, for sure. It's my absolute favorite. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't seen it in many years, and I don't know. I can't even remember the last time I've watched a Roger Moore movie, but it's he was the first one.
So what you should do
of his movies before we went back.
What you should do is just put Octopussy on in the background when you're making dinner tonight. That'd be kind of fun.
Oh, maybe. Yeah. Maybe I will.
We finally have.
I like Daniel Craig though.
Oh well, everybody likes Daniel Craig. I mean, you can't even compare them. I mean, they're like totally different types of movies, and it'll be interesting to see who they pick to be the next one. They're looking for someone in their early 30s. That we know. So it's not going to be Idris. Yeah.
I know. Well, he missed his window. He would have been great, but
because they want someone who will commit to do 5 movies. So it's kind of hard to do when you're 50 years old.
Yeah. Too bad.
The White Lotus finally gets their season 2 premiere date on HBO and HBO Max. It's coming out October 30th, which is just a few weeks away. Did you guys watch?
I'm excited.
Yeah,
I'm excited. I love the first one. Although, I mean, it's going to be totally different, a whole new cast.
Yeah.
Right? Jennifer Coolidge is the only one.
Jennifer Coolidge is
coming back.
Tanya is the only character coming back. So, and they're moving.
She's fantastic.
Yeah, and they're moving from Hawaii to Sicily, to another White Lotus in the chain of hotels. It's going to be great. F. Murray.
It's going to be exciting.
Yeah, F. Murray Abraham's going to be in it. Michael Imperioli, who was on The Sopranos. It's going to be a great show. Can't
Wait,
wait.
now who is F. Murray Abraham?
He's a character
Remind
artist.
me.
He's an old character actor. He was in Amadeus, and he's been in a million things, and you'll know him as soon as you see him.
I'll have to Google him. I can't, because I know his name, but I can't picture him.
So you haven't seen the
So.
trailer yet? All right.
No,
When we get off
I have
phone,
not.
you Google White Lotus season 2 trailer. It looks really good.
Okay.
All
Yeah, I loved the first one.
right. So I sent the trailer for this new movie called The Estate to Laura earlier today, and she goes, "Are we really talking about that?" This is a new movie hitting theaters on November 4th. It stars Toni Collette, Anna Faris,
Inappropriate.
David Duchovny, Ron Livingston, and Jessica Rabbit. Kathleen Turner. It looks really great. It's very dirty. It's not for kids. That's for damn sure. Every other word is a bad word, and they're doing horrible things to try to win. These are nieces and nephews who are duking it out to try to win the love of their dying old aunt, who happens to be bloody rich. So they want, hopefully, she will leave all their money, all of her money, to them. Kathleen.
It looks great.
Yeah, Kathleen Turner's
Totally
playing.
offensive.
Yeah, Kathleen Turner's playing the old dying aunt. So, yeah, and
Yeah, she looks great.
the reason
I think it looks like great casting, and offensive and just obscene and hilarious.
very
So I'm looking
offensive.
forward
And
to
this
that.
is my favorite way. This is my favorite way that I like David Duchovny, because if you ever watch Californication, he is best when he's playing a bad, horrible person. So I think that's why I like him best. So the way I like him best.
Hasn't he always kind of been a bad guy? I mean, has he ever really played?
Well, Fox Mulder
a truly good guy?
Fox Mulder was a good guy, but he kind of had a
Yeah,
bad streak in him, I guess.
Yeah, he had a dark side for sure.
For sure.
But
I'm not going to rush out to the
twisted.
theater to see this, because you know how I feel about movie theaters, but I will watch it eventually when it comes to my TV. Speaking of TV, The Crown Season 5 finally has a launch date. Netflix is dropping that on November 9th. So put that on your calendar if you are a fan of all things royal. I believe they believe that all eyes will be on this season because, of course, you may not have heard this, but the Queen recently died.
No.
Yeah.
Did she? Which
Yeah.
queen? Which queen of what?
Queen of England, Queen Elizabeth
Oh.
II. Yeah.
I hadn't heard about that.
Actress
I
Imelda
guess
Staunton is stepping in as the role of QE2. She's the third actress to play the role. So, does your family watch The Crown?
No, and I didn't realize they keep switching out the queen. Isn't it that people don't mind that? They're fine with a rotating queen?
Well, yeah, because it goes from her very first day being queen until the day she died. So
she's aging. I
Yeah,
see.
so-
this is so Imelda is an old queen.
exactly. So season 1 and 2 was one actress. Season 3 and 4 was a second actress, and then season 5 and 6 will be Imelda. So it's very well done.
All right.
It's very well done.
I've never seen it. Is it good?
Is
it good?
it good? It's Netflix's number 2 or 3 show. I mean, it's hugely popular. Yeah, you got to check it out. Real quick through the rest of my news here. Sister Act 3 is finally happening 20 years after Sister Act 2. Tyler Perry is slated to produce, and Whoopi Goldberg has said, I will put back on the habit. I will do it again. So
That's good. That's
excited
about
that.
time. I've been waiting to find out what's going to happen.
Yeah.
The Sister Act. Yeah.
A conservative asshats up and down the East Coast and all over the country are up in arms because Velma is now gay.
Velma has always been gay.
We're talking about the glasses-wearing female character who wears the turtleneck sweater on the classic Scooby-Doo cartoons. Apparently in this new cartoon movie that's out now called Trick or Treat Scooby-Doo, Velma is crushing on a female villain. So the parents, millions of moms are not very happy about this, but what are you going to do? And speaking of gay, Netflix's Dahmer is now officially their biggest, hottest show ever. The Ryan Murphy limited series, which stars Evan Peters as the serial killer, has racked up over 300 million viewing hours only in its second week. So it beat out Stranger Things season 4, which has now fallen to number 2. Dahmer, the #1 most popular thing on Netflix ever. 56.
Yeah, that's interesting to me. I mean, people are fascinated. I am fascinated, I'll admit. And I've watched some of it. I haven't watched the whole thing, so don't tell me how it ends. But
I think we all know how it ends.
But you know what? It's controversial. I mean, this has been it's very popular, obviously, but also there's a lot of people very upset about this show.
Yeah.
And the families of the victims weren't given a heads up that this is happening, and then they've seen themselves being portrayed on screen apparently very accurately. A lot of these people they're dead ringers for the people that they're playing. And,
well, guess what? I mean,
alarming.
Is it though? I mean, Americans have been fascinated with true crime stuff for decades. I mean, there's whole channels on cable about this. So I don't think that anyone can be upset about being portrayed in a true crime thing. You don't have any control over that, you know?
Well, that doesn't mean they can't be upset. I mean, I'm not alarmed by it. Obviously, I am a true crime fan, so I'm fascinated by this stuff. However, I understand if my brother had been hacked to death by Dahmer and all the horrible things that he did.
How dare you use me? How dare you talk about me that way?
I say, yeah, well, because this is the example that I'm giving, because this is one of the people that I heard from who was very upset about it was the sister of one of these victims. She testified in court, and she didn't know this was happening, and then she found out by the same way that you and I found out about it. We saw a trailer, and then, literally saw someone playing her, and, that just brought up all this trauma, and, whether, not to say that they have any recourse, because it is what it is. It's public information, I suppose, but but that it's upsetting, I'm not surprised that it's upsetting to people. So
is now a good time to let you know that I'm making a movie about our family and that you're in it?
Well, it's about time. I mean, it's a rich treasure trove of material. So
it really is.
I would be surprised if you wouldn't.
Who would play you in the movie?
I couldn't possibly say. Are we talking about the young me or the old me? I mean, which season?
I guess we might wait. I guess we might have to get multiple actresses to play you through the years. All right, we need to get out of here because we've gone on too long, and Laura has to get back to work. But one more thing, as we always do, the world's hottest gummy bear was stolen recently, and then the thief came back because he needed to steal a drink. This happened in Odessa, Texas. A teen stole a pack of gummies from a pharmacy, not realizing exactly what they were. Turns out they were called Little Nitro. It's the world's hottest gummy bear, and it measures 9 million on the Scoville scale. Laura's probably laughing to herself because I am a horrible speller, and the script is full of nothing but misspellings. And anyway,
Scoville scale.
Yeah, I wrote skate. The Scoville scale. All right, let me start over. 9 million on the Scoville scale, used to measure chili peppers. That's 900 times hotter than jalapeno and 5 times hotter than the hottest pepper, the Carolina Reaper. So anyway, the kid eats this gummy bear out in the parking lot and then races back in to steal an iced tea, and then he collapses on the floor, and the people at the pharmacy asked if he needed an ambulance. That's how bad it was. The pharmacy decided not to press charges because they believe the kid got what he deserved already. So
I believe that he did, but why would they sell a thing like that? I mean, that's like I feel
why
like
would they even make it? Why would they even make a thing like that? Yeah.
Well, I don't know. You remember they did that chip challenge with the hot pepper, the hot chips. Henry tasted one of those chips.
Yeah.
And he was miserable for a very long time after, and I don't even think he finished it. I think he just tasted it.
Wow.
And it was that bad. It was that bad, and so I don't know why they even sell these things, because
I don't either. Right, we're running out of music.
All right.
But
right.
What is this? I want to know what this thing is. This chip thing.
Oh, it's one of the very many stupid challenges that went around TikTok and whatever.
Oh God! Keep your
challenge.
You got to keep your kids off TikTok. That's what I would do.
Oh, they don't. They didn't do it for that. He didn't do it for that reason. Somebody had one of these chips and he tasted one, but it's I don't know why. It's just another one of these hot pepper products that they sell. You can buy it at 7-Eleven. Don't do it. Don't buy it.
Don't exactly. Don't buy it. Anyway, Laura, thank you so much for being on the show this week. I appreciate it since Dale is MIA this week. And I need a co-host. I was thinking about doing it myself and just talking to myself, but it's just not quite the same. So
no, you need a sounding board. All right. Well, say hi to Dale for me.
All right, I will.
And
I will talk to you soon. Get your ass out here.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I will.
Okay, bye.
I hope. Okay, bye.